this is a nested namespace. So let me just talk you through what nested namespace actually does. So you have your app, and this over here is my app. And then within the app, you've got controllers, you've got services, and you've got models. So you can see here, models are used for data classes. So that's why they are in this models namespace under your app. And then you have services. So in terms of services, that's for the business logic. And I'll demonstrate what I mean by business logic. And then you've got controllers, which manage the flow of the program. So this is known as a model view controller. So if we have a look at our program here, you can see how nested namespaces help. If you didn't have a nested namespace, your program would be like this. So you would just have one namespace called my app, and that would be it. And that would look very messy. You wouldn't know how to locate your code. But by having a namespace with a dot notation, not only does C# provide IntelliSense, but it makes logical sense. So as you could see here, having models for data classes here makes sense. And then services provide the business logic, and then you've got controllers managing the flow. So how do they look in practical? So here, as you can see, this is my app, and then I am using the controller's namespace. And what the controller does is it creates tasks here. So here we are passing it an argument to learn C# namespaces. Controller also will show the tasks, more tasks is complete. So if I go over to the controller file, and as you can see here, and what the services do is they add task, but that's using the create task. So it's a separation of logic here. And you can see the controller also prints the line here to say the task has been added, and show task again. This is controller's job, not a service job. So this will actually show you the tasks, and your program, all it had to do was for the show task from the controller. So the logic has been separated. So let's have a look at what services does. The services creates a list of tasks. It is using models, and as you can see here, this is how it actually adds the task, and you can see that it's carrying out some other business logic. So as we said here, that the business logic kind of sits in the services. Notice that it's using models. So what is models? So if I go over to model, this holds all our data. So this is basically just a class with ID title is completed, and that's what the data type is. List is holding the model for the task, and it is appending that model to this list over here. So going back to my notes, that is why you separate out your code in this fashion, as it helps organize your code, and that's why you have nested namespaces. And what we mean by nested namespaces, it just they have this dot notation. And this provides clarity not only to humans, but actually Visual Studio Code uses the dot notation here just to make it easier for you to find your code